Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Ya Rabbi lakal hamdu kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhika wa azimi sultanik. Allahumma rabbana lakal hamdu bima khalaqtana wa razaqtana wa hadaytana wa farrajta anna. Allahumma lakal hamdu bil iman wa lakal hamdu bil islam wa lakal hamdu bil Quran. Amma ba'd. فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربي زدنا علما اللهم فقهنا في الدين اللهم إنا نسألك علما نافعا وعملا متقبلا ورزقا طيبا آمين يا رب العالمين. Allahumma sabbitna indal mauti bila ilaha illallah. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Rabbi yassir wa la tuassir wa tammim bil khair. Inshallah, lesson number 11 we are going to work on, and it's going to be about our Idafa fragment, which is a completely new fragment for us. So far we did 2 fragments. Who can remind me what are they?
Harf of nasab and harf of jar.
Harf of jar.
Harfu jar fragment we did, and who can tell me more detail about harfu jar? What do we know about this fragment, jar majroor fragment?
With harfu jar, both must be ism to make an idafa.
No, I'm talking about jar majroor fragment, Saima.
No long distance between them.
Oh, there is no long distance relationship.
Exactly, one thing. What else?
And bataka lam waw min fi an ala hatta ila are the ones.
Perfect. So they are the harfu jar. And what is their job?
They make the ism into jar status.
Exactly. And do they have properties?
No.
No.
Why?
It's a subtopic of Islam. It is not Islam.
Exactly.
Only Islam can have only Islam have properties.
Exactly. Only ism have properties. Harf does not have any properties. Fail does not have any properties, right? So when we are saying harfu jar, so they are harf. So that's why they do not have any properties. Rather, they have what? They have a job. And what is the job of harfu jar? To make next ism into jar status. Then we learn another fragment that was harfu nasab fragment. Okay, so what was the job of these harf? These haruf make the ism not right beside them, but that they can bear long distance, right? So they need basically an ism which is going to be nasab in status. For example, we say inna allaha. We cannot say inna allahu or inna allahi. That would be wrong, right? Yeah. So inna allaha, because inna is harfu nasab, and harfu nasab is going to make ism nasab in status, right? So these were the 2 fragments, and both of them were harf fragment. Both of them harf and ism fragment, right? Today we are going to talk about Idafa fragment. So these were the only 5 fragments we are going to learn, and these were the only 2 fragments that are harf and ism fragment, which is harfu jar fragment and harfu nasab fragment. And now whatever 3 fragments are left, they are going to be ism and ism fragment. So Idafa fragment, when we say, it is going to be basically 2 isms. 2 isms are going to create some kind of relation with each other, and that relation is called Idafa fragment. So I'm not gonna go in detail because not in other fragments detail. So just Idafa fragment we are going to focus on. So Idafa fragment, basically you can call it after of fragment also. What is after of mean? That, for example, when I say book of Zayd, right? Book of Zayd, meaning I'm telling that this of is telling me that something belongs to someone, right? So basically this book belongs to Zayd. So this is basically Idafa fragment. So Idafa fragment is going to show some possession, and you can call it after of fragment as well. And Idafa fragment, as I said, there are going to be two isms together, and no long distance between them, okay? So two isms together, side by side, one ism, the first ism is going to call mudaf, and the second ism is going to be called mudaf ilayhi. What is that fragment going to call? Idafa fragment. Everyone need to say it 3 times.
Idafa
What is the name of this fragment? Idafa fragment.
Idafa fragment.
Mudaf. Okay, this is how we are going to write it down. Idafa. जैसे हम उर्दू में हम बोलते हैं इजाफा हो गया.
Izafa, exactly, is adding something to
yeah.
it. Yeah.
So adding something, but these are not the meaning of in Arabic. Okay. So Idafa fragment is basically the fragment that is going to show some possession. And the name of this fragment is Idafa, and then this Idafa fragment has two isms. The very first ism is going to call mudaf. This is how we are going to write mudaf.
It's on the next page.
And the second ism is going to call mudaf ilayhi.
So, sister, this only applies to ism and it's not for fail.
Both are, sorry?
The idaf ilay and idafa fragment is only applicable for isms, not for
exactly, yeah.
Not for
both
fail at all.
No, fail is not going to construct any fragment.
Okay, Jazakallah.
Okay. Fail is a complete sentence. So forget about the fail. We are talking about only ism now, right? And in ism now we are learning about fragments. And idafa is kind of, we see that, okay, we can make fragments by harf plus ism, right? So two fragment already we learn, harfu jar fragment and harfu nasam fragment. They were harf and ism fragment. But now we are learning the third fragment, which is idafa fragment, and that is going to happen between two isms. So two isms together, and they are going to create some kind of construction, some kind of relation between each other. The first ism would call mudaf, and the second ism would be called mudaf ilayhi. Is everyone clear so far?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
What is the name of this fragment?
Mudaf.
And mudaf ilayhi.
What?
Mudaf and mudaf ilayhi, a relation is called together. They are called idafa.
Exactly. No. Yeah. So the name of this fragment. Listen to my question very carefully. The name of this fragment is Idafa fragment. And now Idafa fragment has two components.
Mudaf
okay.
and mudaf
Mudaf and mudaf ilayhi.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes.
One more time. What is the name of this fragment?
Idafa.
Idafa fragment. What are the components of Idafa fragment?
Mudaf and mudaf ilayhi.
Okay. Which one is mudaf?
First one. The first is some.
Hiba, go upstairs. In my drawer, there are so many pencils. Yeah. So the very first one is going to be called mudaf, and the second one is going to be called mudaf ilayhi. So these are ism and ism fragment. Okay. The example is, okay, before I go to the example, mudaf and mudaf ilayhi, these are the two components. Now, mudaf, the very first component, it's supposed to be light. No alif lam, and the second ism is supposed to be jar in status. So, two components of idafa fragment. The very first one is mudaf. What is the condition of mudaf?
It's light. And no L is there.
Al. So when I say light, what does that mean?
No.
No tanween.
Only
Okay, so that means we need to take. So okay. The co-host, would you guys just please, people can raise hands. Otherwise, if everyone is talking, then it is very distracting for the people who are going to listen to the recording, right? So please make sure that one person at a time talking. And the people who are talking, please make sure that if someone is talking, then you need to stop talking, okay? So when we have a tanween, that is the default state of any ism. For example, there should be always, if I see the word kitab, so it should be always kitabun. That is the default state of this ism. Masjidun, right? That should be the default state of this word. But sometimes we will see in Quran Pak, and we are learning today that not sometimes you will see a word like kitabu with one harika or masjidu. Why is that? Today we are going to learn the reason. That is called that this word is light. We already learned that in our when we were learning how to make some ism light. How do we make any ism light? Any idea?
By dropping one of the haraka.
One harika, that is one way. What is the another way?
Adding al.
Noon. Drop the noon.
Drop the noon.
Sorry.
For example, remember Muslimun chart, right? So Muslimun chart, when we say Muslimun, this is heavy version. And when I say Muslimu, this is the light version.
Light version.
Now, if I say Muslimani, how we can make it light?
By leaving
By dropping this noon.
Noon,
so now it will be Muslima. Noon is not there. And if I say Muslimuna, how we can make it light?
Dropping the noon.
By dropping this noon, right? So Muslimu. So this is, we already learned that, how to make some ism light. So why we are supposed to make some ism light? This is the reason today, one of them we are learning. Okay. So whenever you see an ism light, you should know that, okay, your mind should go that it might be a mudaf, because this is what we are going to learn today. So mudaf, the very first ism, need to be light and no al. Okay. So the one condition is that it should be light, meaning it should have one harika. The second condition is no alif lam. The mudaf cannot have, I cannot say al-kitabu zaydun. Sorry, zaydin. Al-kitabu zaydin. If I want to say book of Zayd, I cannot say al-kitabu. Why? Because then it is not a mudaf. This first ism, I have to make it light. So if I say kitabu, I made it light, no al. And now what is the condition for mudaf ilayhi? The second ism should be always in jar. Okay. That is the only condition. It need to be in jar, and even it can have al and anything. So the only condition is that it should be jar in status. Okay. So when I say kitabu zaydin, now I have created Idafa fragment, and now my kitabu is mudaf, and the word zaydin is mudaf ilayhi. Okay, and they are always side by side. Now I'm gonna give you word and let's see if you guys are able to make Idafa fragment. So if I say the default state of any ism is with tanween. If I say Rasulun and the other word, the other ism is Allah, who? Now, can you guys help me create Idafa fragment? I wanna say, now this is Rasulun meaning our Rasul or Allah mean the Allah, right? The word Allah. Now I wanna say Rasul of Allah. Rasulullah. Messenger of Allah.
Rasulullah.
With drop one haraka.
Exactly. So Rasulu and now my second ism, which is Mudaf ilayhi, should be jar and it will become Rasulullahi. Right?
So
Now,
confusing, wouldn't it be confusing with the nasab of jar and idafa fragment? Wouldn't it be alike? No, but that has harf in it.
I didn't get your question.
No, what I was saying before, harf of jar always has. Yes, that is harfu jar. That has a status of. No, but there's no harf in it. I forgot. There is no harf in it. Sorry, that was a very stupid question.
That is another fragment.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if I say inna, the same I want to say Rasulullah, right? But I put inna before it. So what do you guys think? What changes I should make now? Can I say inna Rasulullahi?
No, Rasulullah, because it has to be in nasab, because this is the nasab.
Rasulullah, okay,
No.
Rasulah, you are saying we need to put fatha over here, right?
Rasulullah. Hold on. Rasulullah. Rasulullah. It's confusing. Inna with inna.
Okay.
The second one should be always
yeah. Okay, let me explain. So now I put inna, right? And now can I say Rasulu, because basically I'm making this Rasul the ism of inna, right? So ism of inna should be what status?
Oh, nasab status.
Nasab. So nasab now this is Rasulullah. Rasulah. But it is not going to make any change in the word Allahi, because that is Mudaf ilayhi, and Mudaf ilayhi has to be jar all the time. It cannot be in any other status at all. Okay. So inna Rasulullahi. Okay, let's see if I put fi, even though it's not making sense with the fi, but just for the sake of understanding. If I put fi and then Rasul, and I'm creating Idafa fragment, what do you guys think? What should be the status of this Rasul now?
Rasulillahi.
Rasulillahi. Did you guys see that? The point I'm trying to make, that Mudaf can have any status. Mudaf can be Rafa, Mudaf can be Nasab, Mudaf can be Jar, depend what is before it. But Mudaf ilayhi is always going to be Jar in status. Clear?
Okay, clear.
So Fi is Harfu Jar, Rasuli is Ism Majroor, and then Rasuli again is Mudaf, and the word Allah is Mudaf ilayhi. So this is how it will be labeled. Okay, so now, as I said, is that someone's phone or what? Can you guys please mute yourself? Make sure that you are not being noisy on the recording.
Sorry, that was my phone, Rahat. I'm going to mute myself. Sorry.
Thank you. Okay, so now, as I said, this is Ism and Ism fragment. The example is Kitabu Zaidin. So now Kitabu is Mudaf and Zaidin is Mudaf ilayhi over here. And the translation gonna be Book of Zaid. And you see of, right? So after of, which is we said in the very beginning that after of is always jar, right? So now you see that yes, Zaid is jar, right? And as we are calling this Idafa fragment as after of fragment, now sometimes this of is going to be very obvious in the sentence and sometimes not. For example, if I say my book, now you do not see any of in between, right? But I can make it another way, saying book of mine, right? Because that makes sense, book of mine. So now I have after of, and this mine is basically mudaf ilayhi, and that's why, if you guys remember, we did that when we were doing attached pronoun, right? We did Rabbi,
Kitabi,
Kitabi, right? So what is happening? Rabbi mean my Rabb. So basically this is Idafa fragment. So in that Rabb, the word Rabb, this is a hard example because this ya is basically it is Rabbun, and then we have ya, right? Now I wanna say my Rabb. I need to make this Rabb light. I would say Rabbu, right? And then I'm gonna put ya mutakallim. Can I pronounce? Can I pronounce this word?
No, Rabui is no.
Okay, so that's why.
Just for the ease.
Ya loves kasra, right? So that's why we have to give it a kasra, and we are saying Rabbi. Rabbi. So Rabbi, my Rabb. And whenever we have all these pronouns, my, our, his, her, they are all creating Idafa fragment, right? Give me 1 sec, please. Okay, so whenever we have all these my and her, you, all these pronouns, they are showing possession. So basically this is the Idafa fragment. If I say Rabbuna, our Rabb, what is that? Idafa fragment.
Idafa.
So this is another way to create Idafa fragment, and we kind of learn a little about it, right? So moving on, let me repeat one more time. So the name of this fragment is Idafa fragment. Then this Idafa fragment has two components. Mudaf, the very first ism is Mudaf, the second ism called Mudaf ilayhi. What is the condition for Mudaf? It is supposed to be always light, no alif lam. And what is the condition for Mudaf ilayhi? Only one condition, that it should be jar, that's all. And then they are not going to have long distance, so that's a good thing. We don't have to look for it. It is always side by side. And that type of mudaf is going to be considered by the mudaf ilayhi. Inshallah, we're gonna soon talk about that. What is this talking about? But when I say another example over here, Baytu Muslimin, what is the translation? Baytu Muslimin, house of a Muslim. House of a Muslim. And do you guys see Baytu? So this is no al, and it is light, and then we have Muslimin, right? So this is basically Idafa fragment. And if I say Baytu al-Muslimi, do you think it is still Idafa fragment?
No, because it has an al.
Yes.
Yes. Because the mudaf alayh can take al or as long as it is jar. Yeah.
There is no condition for mudaf ilayhi that it cannot have al. The condition for not having al is only with the mudaf. So when I say Baytul Muslimi, meaning the house of the Muslim. Now I'm talking about the particular Muslim. Over here, the Muslim was common. Over here, the Muslim is proper. Okay? And both are Idafa construction. Grammatically, they are perfectly fine. Okay, let's see some more examples over here. Actually, we already did that. So just a little review. So we are going to call it after of fragment, Murakkabe Idafi, or Idafa fragment. What is easier for you? You can remember that. It is going to happen between Isam and Isam. It is going to show possession or belonging. In Arabic, the word of does not exist. The word of does not exist in Arabic. We have to create it. And how did we create it? By making the very first ism light and the second ism jar. And now we have the word of in between. Right? So when I say Baytullahi, Baytullahi. Now this Bayt mean house and the word Allah mean Allah, right? There is no of. I didn't put any third word in there, but by making it light and making this jar, I am creating the word of in between. And this is why I'm translating that house of Allah. Make sense? Make sense, everyone?
Yes.
Alhamdulillah.
I have a question.
Okay, and now what is the condition of mudaf? Who can tell me?
No long distance between them.
I'm not talking about Idafa fragment in journal. I'm listen to the question very carefully. But what are the two conditions for mudaf?
Mudaf supposed to be light.
One by one. One by one.
Mudaf is light.
Cannot
And
have
cannot have
no al. So light and no al. These are the two conditions for mudaf. What is the condition for mudaf ilayhi?
It should be jar.
Should be always jar.
Always jar.
Always jar. This is the only condition. Always jar. That's all.
So
is everyone clear? We need to say it maybe 100 times throughout your week. So you should know, because this is very like a basic concept. And Idafa fragment you're gonna find in Quran Pak left and right. Okay, it is very common in Quran Pak. And I would suggest that after the class, throughout the week, you are going to open the Quran Pak and Musaf, and you need to look at 1 page or 2 pages and find as many Idafa fragment as you can see. Okay, so how you are going to look for? Basically, you need to know all these rules. What are the rules for mudaf and how mudaf ilayhi gonna look like? So example, when I say Rasulun is one word and the word Allah is another word. And I want to create Idafa fragment, I would say Rasulullahi. I will drop this one harika and I will make the word Allah jar in status, and it will become Rasulullahi, Rasul of Allah. Can I say Ar-Rasulullahi?
No.
Why not?
Because it has alif lam.
Exactly. So mudaf cannot have alif lam. So that will not be an Idafa fragment then. Okay.
Can
so
the mudaf ilayhi have al?
Exactly. We did that example. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So over here, another example, Imamul Masjidi. What is the Imamul Masjidi? What do you guys think? Is that creating Idafa fragment?
Yes.
Yes.
How I can check my mudaf? Light?
It's light.
No al.
No,
so do you think Imam is light?
Yes.
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 Does it has al?
No.
No.
No. So that perfectly qualifying for being my mudaf. Now
Sarah, your voice is not clear.
Is that voice not clear for everyone?
No,
You're clear.
Alhamdulillah,
It's clear.
It's clear.
Okay, so if you cannot hear me properly, then I think you need to log off and come back. Okay, so Imamul Masjidi. Now, I need to, this is not good enough that if I see the very first letter light, very first is some light, and I just say, okay, this is Idafa fragment. That is not a good conclusion. I need to look at the next ism, and the next ism should be jar in status. Then I'm gonna say, yes, it is Idafa fragment. So Imamul Masjidi mean Imam of the Masjid. And do you guys see al over here? Mudaf ilayhi can have al.
Yes.
Okay. Having no al is the condition for mudaf, not for mudaf ilayhi. So Imamul Masjidi, the Imam of Masjid, of the Masjid. So this is particular Masjid we are talking about. Okay, some more examples over here. Rasulullahi, we already did that. How we are going to label it? What is the label for Rasul? The word Rasul?
Mudaf.
Mudafa is not any word.
Like no al.
This is very funny, Mudafa. We find a create a new word over here. Yeah. So the name of the fragment is Idafa, and then Idafa has two components. Okay, two members we can say. So two member, one of the member is called, the very first member called Mudaf, and the second member called Mudaf ilayhi. Okay, so this is how we are going to label it. And what is the status of Rasul over here?
Mudaf.
Status.
Light.
Light.
It is light, but what is the status?
Rafa.
Rafa. Okay, so it is Rafa over here. And Mudaf can have any kind of status, or there is some particular status?
It can have any status.
All kind of status.
It can have all status. Okay,
Any
it
but
can
light.
have any. We just did the example, okay? And for Mudaf ilayhi, it can have any status?
No, only jar.
Only jar. So we need to remember that, okay? Next one. Junudu Iblisa. Junudu mean army. So Jund is the singular. Jund mean one army. What kind of, did some Jama? No, not yet, right? Okay, so Jundun. Jundun mean army. This is singular. And from that becomes Junud, which is broken plural, right? So meaning many armies, many kind of tribes even. So helpers of Iblis, basically. So Vajunudu Iblisa. So what do you guys think? Is that Idafa fragment? No? Okay. Yes. So let's check. The very first ism is called what? If we are taking it as a Idafa fragment, so very first is my Mudaf. So what is the condition for Mudaf?
Light.
Always light and no alif lam.
Yeah, is Junudu light?
Yes, it is
Does
light.
it has al?
No.
It is Mudaf.
Does it qualify for Mudaf?
Yes.
Now look at the next word. Iblisa. Do you guys think it is jar?
No.
It is jar.
Yeah.
Isn't it jar because of alif maksura?
One correction, because Junud is the plural, so in plural we can say Iblisa or Iblisin. It could be Nasab and Jar. We have only one thing, Iblisin.
This is
Musliman.
Isn't that alif maksura? Is that what it is? Iblisa for three of them?
Partly flexible.
Yeah.
Oh,
this
okay.
is partly flexible. Okay, so it can be
jar.
Okay, ladies, when I start talking, you guys need to stop, because I have so many complaints that you are talking and people are talking, and then they cannot understand what I'm telling or explaining. So as soon as I start talking, you need to stop talking. Okay, so Iblisu or Iblisa, these are the only two status Iblis can have. Basically, this is partly flexible, if you guys remember. Why partly flexible?
Non-Arab name?
Exactly, non-Arab word you can say, or non-Arab name, whatever. Okay, so this is non-Arab, so that's why it is partly flexible. So it can be Iblisu or Iblisa, never Iblisi, never ever. Okay, so that's why it is jar. We are going to take it as a, and Iblisa is mudaf ilayhi over here. So this is, even the translation can help you guys, the soldiers of Iblis. So do you see off, after off, right? So after off is always jar. So this Iblis is basically jar in status over here. Make sense?
Can we ask a question? Can we ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
Since it doesn't have al, like, do we say soldiers of Iblis or the soldiers of Iblis? And if I am missing the
okay, I'm gonna explain that in a bit, because the last point was that how we are going to find out the type of mudaf, right? Because if you guys remember that every ism supposed to have 4 properties, right? Status, number, gender, type. Even though we did not do type yet, right? No type. Okay, so, and we are saying that mudaf cannot have al, right? So that means mudaf is always going to be common. Doesn't make sense, right? Sometimes mudaf has to be proper, but mudaf cannot have al. How we can solve that problem? We need to look at mudaf ilayhi. If mudaf ilayhi is proper, then mudaf is going to be considered proper. Okay, so now, do you think Iblis is proper?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, so this is the name of a shaitan, right? So this is name, so basically this is proper. And that is making Junood proper, and that's why we are saying the soldier of Iblis. That is very good question, but I was about to explain that too. Okay, is everyone clear on that? No one?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Yes. Please repeat it.
One more time, okay. Let's see if I say kitabu. Kitabu Zaidin. Kitabu Zaidin. Now this is mudaf, right? And this is common because it cannot have al. As soon as I put al, it cannot be mudaf, right? So I cannot put al over here. This is my mudaf. But how I can say that, okay, my mudaf is proper? I need to look at mudaf ilayhi. Is mudaf ilayhi proper? Then I'm gonna say, yes, my mudaf is proper. Because now the mudaf ilayhi is a name, and names are proper, right? So now in this case, Kitabu Zaidin, if I ask you what is the type of this kitab, you're gonna say this is proper because mudaf ilayhi is proper. Another example, if I say,
it doesn't have to have an ow, but it's still proper. So both, if the both isms.
Let me please. Okay, maybe I have an example in next slides. Okay, so inshallah, we will have this example. So I'm gonna come back to it, okay? Moving on. Qawmu Musa. So Qawmu Musa, what do you guys think? Mudaf ilayhi or something else?
Mudaf ilayhi.
Okay, let's check. So what is Qawmu is my mudaf, right?
Yes.
What is the condition for mudaf? Light?
It should be light.
No.
No.
Right? So now this is light, no al, qualify for my mudaf. Now I need to check my mudaf ilayhi. I'm not gonna jump to the conclusion when I just say light and no al and I say, oh, this is my mudaf ilayhi. No, I need to check mudaf ilayhi. If mudaf ilayhi is jar, then I can say. Now, what do you guys think about Musa? Is that jar?
Yes, it could be.
Yes,
because it
could be, right? Because Musa is a word that is not going to show us all three status. Musa gonna remain Musa even though it is Rafa, Nasab or Jar, right? So that was happening over here. Qawmu Musa mean the people of Musa or the Qawm, the nation of Musa, right? So this Musa is basically Jar over here. And that is the perfect example of Idafa. And again, now Qawmu, even though Qawmu is common, right? Any Qawm. But because of Musa, Musa is a name and this is proper. That's why we can say the people, the nation of Musa. Next example. Rabbana. Rabbana. So what do you guys think?
Rabba is mudaf, and na is attached pronoun, so it's mudaf ilay.
Exactly. I always told you guys, ism plus attached pronoun. Whatever, what we always get, kind of belonging, right?
Idafa fragment.
Ism plus. Yeah, ism plus attached pronoun. I told you guys before that we always get kind of belonging concept, right? Remember we did Rabbuhu, Rabbu, Huma, Rabbuhum, Rabbuha, Rabbuhuma, Rabbuhunna. What we were creating? Idafa fragment basically. We are saying his Rab, their Rab, Rabbuhunna, all these ladies Rab, right? So we are creating basically Idafa fragment when we attach pronoun with any ism. So this is another way to create Idafa fragment. Rabbuna, our Rab, Rab of ours. If you want to say after of, you can say Rab of ours, right? So after of came here. Rabbana. So now it could be Rabbuna, it could be Rabbina, depend what is before it, right? So Rabbuna over here or Rabbana. Okay, next one. Muslimu Makkata. Now that is a good example for type. Muslimu. What kind of word is Muslimu over here?
Light. Plural.
Light. Yeah, this is basically Muslimuna. Right? So it has made light. Why we have made it light?
We have removed noon.
Why?
Make an Idafa fragment.
To make mudaf. To make it qualify for being mudaf. So Muslimu and then Makkata is mudaf ilayhi. Why I'm so sure? Because Makkata, what kind of word is Makkata?
Partly flexible.
Partly
flexible because name of places are partly flexible.
Partly flexible, yeah.
name of places are partly flexible. It could be Makkatu or Makkata. So Makkatu is Rafa and Makkata, both are Nasab or Jar. So that's why we are going to take it as a Jar over here. Muslimu Makkata mean the Muslims of Makkah, right? And again, Muslimu over here is common, right? But Makkah is a place, right? So this is proper. And because of that, the word Muslimu is the mudaf basically become proper. And we're going to say the Muslims of Makkah. It doesn't have al over here, but why we are saying the Muslims?
Makkah,
because of mudaf
is proper?
Yeah, because of mudaf ilayhi, we are making it the Muslim. Because the mudaf ilayhi is proper and that is making mudaf proper. Make sense?
Yes, alhamdulillah.
Okay. Point to be noted. We make something proper by adding an al before it, but mudaf cannot have al. So whether mudaf is proper or common depends on mudaf ilayhi. So we say baytullahi, right? Now baytu is common over here. It doesn't have al. But the word Allah, because the word Allah is proper, we are saying the house of Allah.
And the mudaf, can the mudaf also determine if it's proper, then it will be proper, all of it? Not only the mudaf.
It's just the mudaf ilayhi.
Mudaf cannot be, mudaf cannot have al.
I'm going to probably go to the library now, because I can't be...
The Muslimu that you just did, you said Muslimu is proper. Is that what made it the
because
Muslimu
of mudaf ilayhi? Yes.
So the Makkata is a proper. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now imamu. This is the example. Imamu masjidin mean imam of a masjid. Imam of a masjid. Why a masjid?
Masjid is common now?
Because masjidin over here.
Yeah, it's common.
But if I say imamul masjidi, that was the example I was thinking. Imamul masjidi. Now I have al on the word masjid, right? And this is my mudaf ilayhi. And now the translation would be the imam of the masjid. Even I can put the over here, doesn't hurt. The imam of the masjid. Why? Imam is not proper over here. Why I'm saying the imam? Because of mudaf ilayhi, because it is proper. Okay, that was the example I was thinking. Make sense?
Yes, alhamdulillah.
And then we already did that mudaf can be any status. If I say fi baytillahi, now see, because of fi, bayti is jar over here. And that is my mudaf, right? So my mudaf can be any status. It could be rafa, it could be nasab, it could be jar. But the mudaf ilayhi should be always jar. This is the condition for mudaf ilayhi.
I have a question, Rahat. For mudafi ilayhi, for the ilayhi part, the second word, can we add al to it? Because you said mudaf, we cannot add al. It cannot be proper. It has to be light. But ilayhi, because the examples we saw here, Qawmi Musa, Rabbana, Muslimu, Makkata, none of them has al. Can we add al to mudaf ilayhi?
Yes, that's what we are talking about over here, Saima. Look at the example over here. Imamu masjidin, right? So this is the construction that is still idafa construction, right? Imamu masjidin mean imam of a masjid, right? Why I'm saying a masjid? Because masjidin. But then I can say imamul masjidi. I have added al over here, right?
So that is idafa.
Mudaf ilayhi can have al.
Okay. Jazakallah khair.
And this is how we are going to determine if our mudaf is proper or common. Because mudaf cannot have al, right? So how we can consider mudaf as a proper? So we always go and look mudaf ilayhi. If it is proper, then we are going to label it as a proper when it is going to talk about the type of it. Okay, now let's create some Idafa fragments here. So the word is baytun, and the word Allah. Very easy. How we can create Idafa fragment? Baytullahi, easy. Okay, so I'm gonna remove this one harika, and I'm gonna remove this u sound. I'm gonna give it a kasra, Baytullahi. Right, and how I'm gonna label it?
Baytu is a mudaf, and the word Allahi is mudafi ilayh.
Mudafi ilayhi, perfect. Okay, and translation?
House of Allah.
House of Allah. Easy, alhamdulillah. Next one, Rabbun. One word is Rabbun. The second word is As-samawatu.
Rabbi samawati.
Okay.
Samawati.
Samawati.
Okay.
Samawati.
Okay. Now, first I heard Rabbi. Why we choose to give it it is right one. We can say Rabbi, nothing wrong. But I'm just asking why you choose to give kasra over there.
My Rabb.
Okay. If it, no, if you are saying Rabbi, my Rabb, then it is by itself a Idafa fragment. If you are saying Rabbi, like that, then it is already Idafa fragment. We do not need a samawatu then. Okay, but if you are saying,
Rahabaji, can you explain that again, please?
The Rabbi part?
Yeah, like why we don't need Samawati if we do Rabbis.
Because it is already Idafa fragment. What did I say? Rab. Basically, this Rabbi is Rab, the word Rab plus Ya. And the word Rab is Ism. Ism plus attached pronoun. Already Idafa fragment.
Okay. So it's duplicating the efforts if we just do it.
Yeah. So when we say my Rab, this is already Idafa fragment. We do not need a Samawati. That should be something different than something else. But over here, if someone said Rabbi with one kasra, okay, let's say there is no dhamma over here, kasra, so there should be some harfu jar over here. Maybe I can put ba over here, bi Rabbi. Right? Or I can do fi over here, sorry. Or I can put any harfu jar, fi, ba, ta, kaf, lam, I can say la, right? Then it is going to make sense, okay, it could be Rabbi, right? But if nothing, then we're gonna say just Rabbu. We're gonna drop just one. There are two dhammas, we're gonna drop one and we're gonna say Rabbu Sama Vatu. Now you need to say what should be the jar status of a Samawatu. How we can make it jar?
Samawati.
Okay.
That's the
Muslimatun. Muslimatin. Muslimatin. Now put al. Al-Muslimatu. Al-Muslimati. Al-Muslimati. So same as-Samawati. Okay. So that would be Rabbu Samawati. Now this is Idafa fragment. Rabb of the heavens. Right? Make sense?
Lots to take in here. Yeah.
Okay. Imamu Masjidun, we already did that. Can someone try how we can make it Idafa?
I can try. Imamu.
By dropping
Imamu al-Masjidi, or we can do, yeah, Imamu or Masjidi, just Masjidi, Imamu Masjidi.
Exactly, Imamu Masjidi.
Or we can do Imamu al-Masjidi for the, to make it proper.
Exactly. And how are you going to make any difference in the translation?
Masjid of Imam, if I do Imamu Masjidi, a masjid of Imam.
Masjid of Imam or Imam of Masjid?
Oh, sorry. Imam, sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Astaghfirullah. Imam of the masjid. And then I do Imamu al-Masjidi, then Imam of the Imam of
masjid.
the masjid. The Imam of the masjid.
Imam of the masjid. We can put da on both sides, okay? Da Imam of the masjid. Perfect. Alhamdulillah. Okay, Qawmu Musa, we already did that. Now, Ibnu Maryamu. So, Ibnun is another one ism, right? And Maryamu is another ism. So, how we can create? Ibnu means son and Maryam means Maryam, son of Maryam.
Ibnu Maryam.
Very good. Ibnu, why Maryama? Party flexible. So it would be Ibnu Maryama, never Maryami. We cannot give a kasra ever. Okay, so Ibnu Maryama would be the Idafa fragment. Then we have Banina Israel, or we say Bani Israel, right? In Quran Pak, you will see a lot Bani Israel, right? So what's going on in Bani Israel?
Bani Israel, Ila is the proper name, doesn't change, so it's the name of a city.
So first Bani, what's going on in Bani?
We are going to remove the noon to make it right.
Yeah. So basically, Ibnun, we did that, right? So Ibnun and then Ibnani would be the dual, and then Banun is the plural, and Banuna, Banina, Banina, that is the conjugation basically. And then we can drop this noon to make it mudaf. So Bani Israel, because this is partly flexible, it is not going to take kasra, right? So this is how it should be. Bani Israel. And you know what is Israel? I already told you guys once, right? What is the meaning of Israel in Hebrew language? This il mean Allah. In Hebrew language, this il mean Allah and Isra mean Abd. So basically this is Abdullah. Abdullah name. And that was the title of Yaqub al-Islam. Right? So his name was basically Abdullah. This is the beautiful name. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loved Abdullah name a lot. Okay, Muslimuna Makkata, we already did that. Rabbuna, we already did that. Okay, so we're gonna move on. Okay. Now, sometimes what happen, not only one idafa you're gonna find, rather it is going to be chain of idafa. So two idafa fragments are going side by side. How it's gonna look like? For example, the word, we have three words over here. Babun, what does babun mean? Door. Baitun, house. Hamidun, Hamid. Right? I wanna say that door of the house of Hamid. Door of, so I have one of house and then I have of Hamid. So now I have two of, right? So that is already telling me, yes, this basically chain of idafa. How I can construct that? So babun, obviously I need to say babu, right? Babu. And then baiti, right? And then hamidin, simple and easy. So what's going on? Baun is my mudaf over here. Baiti is my mudaf ilayhi. And then again, this same baiti is my mudaf. So it is playing double role. We used to see some movies, right? Someone is playing double role. So that is happening over here. So this, the word bait is mudaf and mudaf ilayhi at the same time. And then hamidin is mudaf ilayhi.
So Rahat, can you explain this one more time, that how are we making the second word baiti into mudaf and mudaf ilayhi both?
Okay, listen. So what did I do? I just made my first mudaf light. I said babu.
Yes.
Now what do I need? I need mudaf ilayhi,
right,
which should be jar.
Right.
I could say babu. I could say babu baitin. Right? Babu baitin. And then hami din. But what's gonna happen if I do that? Babu is my mudaf. Baitin is my mudaf ilayhi. And then I can say that this is my mudaf again.
No, because it is proper and it has to be light.
No, it's not proper. No, because
I mean,
sorry.
It is
heavy.
It is heavy. Yeah, it has to be light.
It is heavy, right? So that's why I need to make it light. I need to play smart, right? So I made it light, and now I can take it as a mudaf, and Hamidin is my mudaf ilayhi.
So and now it is mudaf and mudaf ilayhi then both
at the same time, because it does not have al. It is not heavy, so it perfectly can fit in as mudaf and mudaf ilayhi, right?
Yes. Now, alhamdulillah, it makes sense. Now it makes sense to me. Because now what you're saying is the middle word to act as mudaf and mudaf ilayhi, we have to make it in such a way where it grasps all the qualities of
exactly
both. Okay Makes sense.
Yeah, 3 isms and 2 fragments we are creating with them.
I have a question, sister.
Yeah.
Do you mind? Hamidin here. Would it be Hamidi or Hamidin? Since it's an Idafa fragment.
This is Arabic word. Idafa
so it's a flexible.
Mudaf ilayhi, yeah, it is fully flexible, and mudaf ilayhi can be heavy, it can take all, it can be anything, but it has to be jar. This is the only condition, right? So it can be jar with one kasra, or it could be jar with the double kasra, right?
So when
but there is no reason, there should be any reason. If I'm saying it, okay, this is Hamidi, there should be some reason. Over here, I as I said, that an ism should be default condition is that it is always heavy. If I'm making any ism light, then there should be some reason. So there is no reason that I should say Hamidi, unless there is another Idafa fragment I'm going to create or whatever, right? Otherwise, there is no need that I need to make it light for any other reason, right?
Oh, I see.
So question. That was a very good question from Sister Aisha. Hamid, we can also do Hamidi, right? The only way we find out why we are doing tanween or we are not doing tanween is if it's what makes us define that? How do we know?
Because the default state of any ism is being heavy. So if I don't know, if I put something after Hamid or before Hamid, before Hamid is only like something can make it light is only Idafa fragment, right? So basically there should be some reason, I'm trying to say, to make any ism light, otherwise it should be heavy. right? If I say Hamidi and then maybe I'm making it light as a Idafa fragment and then I'm gonna put another Mudaf ilayhi over here, then it can make sense, right?
Can we put Al-Hamidi?
Sorry?
Can we say Al-Hamidi?
No, why we put Al on a name? Hamid is a name. We don't need Al over there. Do we?
Nope.
Yeah, so there should be reason we are putting Al something. We don't need it. Is that clear, Saima? The default state of any ism is heavy unless there is some reason you are making it light. You cannot put someone on diet for no reason, right? I cannot say to you, okay, you are fasting. You cannot drink water at all. Can I? Okay, moving on. Maliki Yawmiddin. So what do you guys think? What's going on here? Maliki, do you think does that qualify for our mudaf?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it is light, does not have al, so this is my mudaf, right? And then Yomi, do you think it is mudaf ilayhi?
Yes.
Yes.
It is mudaf ilayhi. Okay, now can I say Yomi is again my mudaf?
Yes.
Yes.
It qualifies.
It's qualified because it is light, it does not have al. And then Ad-Dini, does it qualify mudaf ilayhi?
Yes.
The chain of Idafa fragment in Surat Fatiha, Maliki Yawmiddin, the master of the day of the judgment, Subhanallah.
Yes, Subhanallah.
So you see these off over here? That is giving out, yes, the chain of Idafa fragment is going on here. If it was Maliki al-Yawmi, then it won't qualify for being mudaf again, right? So that's why it is put over there as a Yawmi, right? And can I say this Yawmi is proper? If I ask you what is the property of, what is the type of this Yawm? What should be your
It's
answer?
proper.
Proper,
it's proper
why?
Because al-dini.
Yeah, exactly. Because of this mudaf ilayhi. This is proper and that is making this Yawm proper. The day of judgment is not any common day. It is a proper, right? So what is making it proper? Ad-Dini is making it proper. Then we have next one, Amri Rabbihi. So Amri Rabbihi. There should be some reason why it is Amri. Right? So this is, the reason is because it is my mudaf. So Amri is mudaf and then Rabbi is my mudaf ilayhi. And then Rabbi is again light, no al. And then attached pronoun mudaf ilayhi. So again, chain of Idafa fragment.
Yes.
Command of command of his Rabb.
Yes.
Or his master's command. Do you guys see it happening?
Yes, Alhamdulillah. Finally.
Alhamdulillah. Okay. Zikru rahmati rabbika. So zikru, light, no al. So this is my mudaf. My beautiful mudaf. And then rahmati is my beautiful mudaf ilayhi. Right? It is jar. And then rahmati is again light, no al. So qualify for mudaf again. Right? And then Rabbi is my mudaf ilayhi. Oh my God, so much going on over here.
Yeah.
And then again, Rabbi is light, no al. So this is my mudaf. And ka is my mudaf ilayhi.
Mudaf ilayhi.
Subhanallah.
Chain of mudaf.
So three Idafa fragments are going on. Zikru mean mentioning of the rahmah, of the mercy of your Rabb. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is commanding Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that you mention the blessings, the rahmah, the mercy that I have given to you. So you keep mentioning them. So that means that we need to be thankful basically. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us with something, we need to mention that, right? We need to be thankful. We need to say out loud.
I have a question.
Rabbika, it's not Rabbaka.
Sorry, Rabbika,
So, ka is fatah.
The word is because of the partly
Which one?
The
ka?
last word. Ka.
Yeah.
Ka is partly flexible.
Is ka
Rabbika.
Ka
is the other one.
Attached pronoun.
Attached pronoun.
Attached pronoun does not have
Change.
like ending, right? So they are fixed. So ka, kuma, kum, ki, kuma, kumna. Ye ka always is going to have fatha, but that doesn't mean that this is nasab, right? Because they do not have status like the other ism. So Rabbika, whenever, remember the rule, ism plus attached pronoun, always idafa fragment, and that attached pronoun is always mudaf ilayhi. So that means it is always jar.
Can I have a question, please?
Always jar.
Can I ask a question,
Okay.
please?
One minute, Sister Farida. I'm answering one question. So ism plus attached pronoun, always idafa fragment, and this attached pronoun is always going to be jar in status. You know, attached pronoun can be only two status. What are they? Attached pronoun can be only two status, either nasab or jar. When they are nasab, attached to nasab, then it's going to be nasab. Another reason with the fail. So whenever these attached pronoun attached to a fail, they are going to be nasab. And then when they are going to be jar, ism plus attached pronoun, always they are going to be jar, or harfu jar comes before them, they are jar. Like we say bihi, fihi, right? Or when I say laka. So now lam is harfu jar, this ka is ism majroor. When I say ism majroor, what does that mean? That this ka is jar in status, right? So these attached pronouns can take only two status, either nasab or jar. When they are taking nasab, when harfu nasab gonna come before them, obviously they are ism of inna or whatever, the sisters of inna. And the second reason, when they are going to be nasab, when they are get attached to a fail. Inshallah, soon we are going to learn about that, right? But then there are two conditions when they are going to be jar, either when they are harfu jar before them, right? Or this construction, when we have ism plus attached pronoun, idafa fragment they are creating, always jar in status. Okay, so inshallah, I think we are over time. So we are going to stop over here. Rest of the whatever left, inshallah, we're going to continue idafa fragment. 3 ways we can make idafa fragment. So that is basically 2 ways so far we learn. So there is another way to learn idafa fragment. That is our next class. So inshallah, we're going to continue next class, and we will do all these extra practice over there too. Now, what is the homework? Let me see if you guys would be able to do the homework. Homework is that you need to find if it is idafa fragment or not. So try your best if you are able to. And I think you guys should be, because almost we covered everything, just we didn't do enough practice. And the second, the same thing. So you guys are going to try, find out if it is idafa fragment or not. And the last homework over here is, again, we are creating idafa fragment. How we are creating idafa fragment? By making mudaf light and mudaf ilayhi jar. So that is easy. Abdus Sami. So Abdun and As-Sami'u, these are the 2 words. And when we say Abdus Sami'i, what does that mean? Abd of Sami. Sami is the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? So we are creating Idafa fragment over here. So this is how you are going to create Idafa fragment, but you need to make sure if something is partly flexible, for example, Ramadan. Ramadan is not fully flexible. So it could be Ramadanu or Ramadana, never Ramadani. So you're not going to say Shahru Ramadani. Rather, Shahru Ramadana. It will take fatha. Okay, so you need to make sure, even we know about Yusuf, right? So this is non-Arab name. So you need to make sure that we are not saying Yusufi. It will be Yusufa as a jar. Okay, so that's all your homework. Inshallah, try. And next class, we are going to do practice, and we can take all this homework as well if you guys are not sure. So inshallah, with that, we can end our session. Barakallahu li wa lakum fil Qur'anil Hakim wa nafa'ani wa iyyakum bi ayati wa dhikril hakim. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifuna wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.